Gravity, lightning, black holes, science is full of wonders. In this episode, we'll explore words that describe fascinating scientific phenomena. With definitions, real-world examples, and images, let's uncover the mysteries of nature. Data as noun. Facts, figures, or information used as a basis for reasoning, discussion, or calculation. Raw or unprocessed information or statistics. The weather data predicted a high chance of rain in the afternoon. The scientist reviewed the experimental data to draw conclusions about the hypothesis. The company analyzed sales data to identify trends and make strategic decisions. The survey data showed a clear preference among respondents for organic food products. The study collected data on the participants' exercise habits and dietary choices. Control as noun. A means of limiting or regulating something. A standard of comparison for verifying or regulating the operation of a device. The power to influence or direct people's behavior or the course of events. The experiment had both a control group and an experimental group. The government implemented strict controls to prevent the spread of the virus. The air traffic controller directed the planes safely to their destinations. The remote control allows you to adjust the volume of the television. She felt a sense of control over her own destiny. Variable as adjective. Able to be changed or adapted, not constant or static. Not consistent or having a fixed pattern, liable to change or vary. The success of the project was hindered by the variable availability of resources. The company's profits were variable, influenced by market fluctuations and economic conditions. The quality of the product showed variable improvement over time. Her mood was variable, often shifting from joyous to melancholic without warning. The weather in this region is highly variable, with frequent changes in temperature and precipitation. Causation as noun. The act or process of bringing about a result or outcome. The action of causing something. The relationship between cause and effect. Understanding the causation of climate change is crucial for developing effective mitigation strategies. The scientists conducted experiments to investigate the causation of the disease. Legal cases often hinge on proving causation, showing that one event directly led to another. The study aimed to establish causation between stress and cardiovascular health. The court examined the evidence to determine the causation of the accident. Correlation as noun. A mutual relationship or connection between two or more things. The degree to which two or more variables change together. There is a positive correlation between exercise and overall health. Economic data suggests a correlation between unemployment rates and consumer spending. The study aimed to determine the correlation between diet and heart disease. Researchers analyzed the correlation between student performance and attendance. Studies have shown a strong correlation between smoking and lung cancer. Validity as noun. The extent to which a test, measurement, or method accurately assesses or measures what it is intended to. The quality or state of being logically or factually sound. The extent to which something is well-founded or reasonable. The court determined the validity of the contract based on whether all parties entered into it willingly and with full understanding. The psychologist assessed the validity of the personality test in predicting behavior patterns. The validity of the theory was supported by empirical evidence gathered from various experiments. In research, ensuring the validity of data is crucial for drawing accurate conclusions. The validity of the scientific study was questioned due to flaws in the experimental design. Experimentation as noun. The act, process, or practice of conducting experiments or systematic investigations in order to discover, explore, or test hypotheses, theories, or new ideas. The systematic and methodical approach to exploring possibilities, alternatives, or innovations in various fields, such as science, technology, art, or business. The chef's culinary experimentation led to the creation of unique and inventive dishes. Artists often engage in experimentation with different mediums and techniques to push the boundaries of their creativity. The success of the company's products is attributed to its culture of experimentation and risk-taking. The laboratory encourages experimentation to foster innovation and discovery. In the field of medicine, experimentation is crucial for developing new treatments and therapies. Control as verb. To have power over. To direct, manage, or govern. To restrain or regulate. To keep something within limits. The teacher must control the classroom to maintain order. The police officer tried to control the crowd during the protest. He couldn't control his excitement when he received the news. She struggled to control her emotions during the difficult conversation. The manager needs to control the budget more effectively. Replication as noun. The action or process of copying or reproducing something. The repetition or duplication of experimental results to validate findings. The replication of the software program was completed ahead of schedule. The replication of the experiment yielded consistent results. The replication of historical artifacts requires meticulous attention to detail. The artist's replication of the famous painting was almost indistinguishable from the original. DNA replication is a fundamental process in cell division. Experiment as verb. To engage in a scientific procedure or systematic investigation aimed at testing a hypothesis, making a discovery, or obtaining data. To try or carry out something new or different in order to observe its effects or consequences. To conduct a trial or test. She experimented with different recipes until she found the perfect combination of ingredients. Teachers often encourage students to experiment with different study techniques to find what works best for them. The researchers plan to experiment with various methods of data collection to improve accuracy. The company is experimenting with a new marketing strategy to attract younger customers. Before launching the product, they experimented with different packaging designs to gauge consumer preferences. Model as adjective. Exemplary. Serving as a standard or ideal example for imitation or comparison. Fashionable. Following or setting trends in style or design. The designer showcased her latest model collection at the fashion show. The teacher presented a model essay to help students understand proper structure and style. She has a model home, meticulously decorated and arranged for showcasing. The company strives to maintain model standards of quality in its products. His behavior towards his colleagues is model, always courteous and respectful. Model as noun. A person or thing regarded as an exemplar or worthy of imitation. A representation, usually in miniature, of something. She's a role model for aspiring young entrepreneurs. The company's business plan serves as a model for success in the industry. The actress became a fashion model after being discovered at a young age. The toy car was a scale model of a classic sports car. The architect created a detailed model of the building before construction began. Phenomenon as noun. A fact or occurrence that can be observed and studied, especially one that is remarkable, unusual, or significant. a remarkable or exceptional person, thing, or event. A perceptible aspect or manifestation of a particular situation, process, or phenomenon. Something that is experienced or observed, often with wonder or curiosity. Social media has become a global phenomenon, reshaping communication and connectivity on a massive scale. The scientist devoted her career to studying the phenomenon of climate change and its impact on ecosystems. The aurora borealis is a natural phenomenon that captivates observers with its stunning display of colors in the night sky. The artist's work explores the phenomenon of memory and its role in shaping personal identity and perception. The rise of populism in politics is a phenomenon that has garnered attention from scholars and analysts worldwide. Empirical as adjective. Based on, concerned with, or verifiable by observation or experience rather than theory or pure logic. Derived from or guided by practical experience and experimentation rather than abstract reasoning or speculation. In psychology, empirical studies are used to investigate human behavior and cognition. The scientists conducted empirical research to test the effectiveness of the new drug. The company relied on empirical data to make informed decisions about product development. Empirical observations suggested a correlation between diet and longevity. Empirical evidence supports the hypothesis that exercise improves mental health. Conclusion as noun. A judgment or decision reached after consideration. The end or finish of an event, process, or text. The detective drew a conclusion based on the evidence gathered at the crime scene. In conclusion, I would like to thank everyone for their hard work. The movie's conclusion left audiences stunned and wanting more. After careful analysis, the researchers reached the conclusion that the hypothesis was incorrect. The conclusion of the book ties up all the loose ends and provides a satisfying resolution. Model as verb. To create or construct a representation or simulation of something. To display or exhibit a particular characteristic or behavior for others to emulate or follow. She modeled grace and elegance as she walked down the runway. The teacher modeled problem-solving strategies for the students to learn from. The artist modeled the sculpture out of clay before casting it in bronze. The mentor modeled effective communication skills for the team to emulate. The company modeled various scenarios to forecast potential outcomes. Analysis as noun. The process of examining something in detail in order to understand it or explain it. The study of the components of a substance or compound to understand its nature or characteristics. The literary analysis of the novel explored its themes and symbolism. The data analysis revealed interesting patterns in consumer behavior. The forensic analysis of the evidence helped solve the crime. Chemical analysis of the water samples detected high levels of contaminants. The economic analysis of the market indicated potential areas for growth. Hypothesis as noun. A proposition or assumption made as a basis for further investigation, reasoning, or discussion. An explanation for an observation or phenomenon that is provisionally accepted in order to interpret and predict other observations. She formulated a hypothesis about the cause of the problem. His hypothesis was based on extensive research and experimentation. The scientist's hypothesis was that the new drug would cure the disease. The hypothesis proved to be correct after further testing. The hypothesis was disproven by the results of the study. Observation as noun. A remark, comment, or statement based on what is observed, an instance of noting or remarking upon something. the act or process of observing or watching something carefully, often to gain information, insights, or understanding. The detective's keen powers of observation enabled him to solve the mystery and apprehend the culprit. His observation that actions speak louder than words resonated with the audience, prompting reflection on their own behavior. Her observation of the patient's symptoms led to an accurate diagnosis of the rare neurological disorder. The researcher presented her findings and observations at the conference, sparking further discussion and debate. The astronomer made detailed observations of the night sky, recording the movements of celestial bodies. Prediction as noun. A statement or assertion about the future based on analysis, observation, or inference, a forecast or prophecy. The act or process of forecasting or foretelling future events or outcomes, often using scientific, statistical, or intuitive methods. Meteorologists use weather data and computer models to make predictions about upcoming storms and atmospheric conditions. The fortune teller claimed to have the ability to make accurate predictions about her clients' futures. Economic analysts offer predictions about future trends in the stock market and global economy. Nostradamus was famous for his cryptic predictions, which some believe foretold significant historical events. Scientists are studying patterns in seismic activity to improve their predictions of earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Experiment as noun. A scientific procedure undertaken to make a discovery, test a hypothesis, or demonstrate a known fact. A controlled procedure designed to investigate a specific phenomenon or answer a research question. An action or process carried out to observe the effects of changing variables or conditions, typically in order to gather data, analyze results, and draw conclusions. The biologist conducted an experiment to study the effects of temperature on plant growth. In chemistry class, students performed an experiment to determine the reaction rate of different substances. The psychology experiment investigated the relationship between sleep patterns and cognitive function. The results of the experiment confirmed the hypothesis that exposure to sunlight affects mood. Scientists use controlled experiments to test the effectiveness of new medications and treatments. Law as noun. A particular rule or principle within a system of law, a statute, ordinance, or regulation enacted by a legislative body. The system of rules, regulations, and principles recognized and enforced by a community or authority, governing behavior within a society and enforced by judicial institutions. Criminal law deals with offenses against the state, such as theft, assault, and murder. The judge cited a precedent established in a previous court case as a basis for his ruling, emphasizing the importance of upholding the rule of law. The law requires all businesses to pay taxes on their income. It is against the law to drive a vehicle without a valid driver's license. International law governs relations between sovereign states and regulates issues such as treaties, diplomacy, and armed conflict. Reliability is noun. The degree to which something can be relied on to perform consistently well. The quality of being trustworthy or dependable. The reliability of the internet connection is crucial for remote work. The reliability of the new car model is being tested through extensive trials. The reliability of the data is essential for making informed decisions. We need to assess the reliability of the information before using it in our research. Customers value the reliability of this brand's products. Law as verb. To impose or regulate by law. To enact, establish, or decree as a rule or principle. To take legal action against someone or something. To sue or prosecute according to the law. The City Council voted to law a curfew for minors in response to rising crime rates. The organization has vowed to law legal action against any instances of copyright infringement of their intellectual property. The company was fined for unlawfully disposing of hazardous waste in violation of environmental protection laws. The state legislature is currently debating whether to law a ban on single-use plastic bags to reduce plastic pollution. The government decided to law stricter regulations on environmental pollution to protect natural habitats. Theory is noun, a coherent set of ideas or principles that explain a phenomenon or set of phenomena. A hypothesis or conjecture that has not yet been fully proved or substantiated. The chaos theory suggests that small changes can have big effects over time. The conspiracy theory about the moon landing being faked has been debunked. The theory of relativity was groundbreaking in the field of physics. The theory of evolution is widely accepted in the scientific community. The feminist theory of patriarchy analyzes power structures in society. Variable as noun, a factor or element that is subject to change or variation. In mathematics and statistics, a symbol representing a quantity that can assume any of a set of values. The researcher analyzed the relationship between several variables to identify patterns. In programming, a variable stores data that can be modified during program execution. The economist studied the variables influencing consumer spending behavior. Temperature is a key variable affecting the rate of chemical reactions. The experiment controlled for various variables to isolate the effects of the independent variable. Level up your English. Master vocabulary, idioms, and phrasal verbs with fun quizzes. Translate meanings into 104 languages. Download now. Link in the description. Please like and subscribe to our channel.